everybody, welcome to the next Outdoors with Ole Pops, and here I am getting in the Charger VMAG. Now I tell you what, if you are like me and you're a little bit older, monkeying around on these boats isn't as easy as it used to be. You're going to really want to look at the front end, the handrail, the platform, and everything we have on the Charger VMAG. It makes pushing that boat and launching by yourself a lot easier. I'm really happy with the way the front end is. You can see I'm climbing in right there, and the boat sets really nicely on the trailer until you start it up and take off. Hey, I'm out by myself today, which I fish by myself quite a bit through the middle of the week, and I'm trying something different. I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen the old Harold Inslee fishing shows that I grew up watching as a kid, but I wanted to do a total voiceover commentary fishing show today, and hopefully you like this, and when I'm out fishing by myself, this might be the format that I use. I'm over on Hudson Lake, right below the Grand Lake Dam, probably about 8-10 miles below the Grand Lake Dam, and I'm going to be chasing catfish on some mud flats, looking for some stick-ups and heavy cover. Now, one of my favorite places to start looking for catfish and crappie is around old bridge pilings, and I am on the upstream side of these pilings using my Garmin electronics to see if there's any catfish laying at the base of these pilings. I didn't find any, so I moved on down to the out into the lake and noticed that they'd started turning on a lot more water from generation. And the first place that I found, I thought I saw some nice cats in a little brush pile on the edge of the river channel there, and I stopped and set up and fished, and I did not get anything at all right there. Now, as you can see, I just put my trolling motor down, and guys, I tell you what, with today's technology of this spot lock, you can go out and fish without having to throw your boat anchor out, and I am telling you, for an old pops like me, that is absolutely wonderful. I've had all the years of pulling anchors that I need, and I can use my spot lock to crappie, catfish, white bass fish, whatever, and it really makes your trip a lot more enjoyable. Hey, I'm all spot locked down in the VMAG, and I'm all baited up, and I'm casting out into a big tree that's laying on the drop-off, and I'm hoping there's a good catfish laying there on that drop-off. I'm going to put out 4 to 5 rods, and I'm using the Team Catfish Thundercats with the brand new 10-aught double action circle hooks. So stick with me here and let's see if we can get a pull down. Hey, now those blue cats are notorious for hitting hard, but every now and then they'll kind of peck and yank around there, and one of my favorite ways to catch those fish is to reel down with that double action hook, that Thundercat rod, and that Team Catfish braided line, and I go ahead and hook those fish that way. And ain't a big catfish to get started, but he come out of that brush pile and he is one for the live well for sure. Hey, don't worry about live well space in the Charger VMAG either. That is about a 30-gallon live well back there, and next to it, 2 compartments over, we've got an 8-gallon bait tank. So you've got a great area to keep and work on your fish back there. Hey, wouldn't you know it, just as I really kind of got out there and got going, they shut the water down, started slowing it down quite a bit. So I knew they were going to at some point in time. And when they do that, a lot of times you get short biting fish, and that's what I ended up with. But I ended up putting a couple more fish in the boat coming up here pretty quick, and glad I was able to get on those guys. right before the water completely slowed down. This was a really nice fish, about 5 pounds, and a perfect eating size if you ask me for blue catfish. And a lot of times those fish will go ahead and hook themselves when you got those rods and those Driftmaster rod holders and you're using that braided line. Woo-wee! Man, what a takedown. I tell you what, if you love catfishing, that's what you like to see. And there was another fish hitting over there on the left. I reached down, try to get my fish grips to land that first fish, and that short biting fish, he never did hook up. So I go back over, and by the time that I get a hold of this nice blue catfish, he's already starting to mess around and get close to my power poles. Now I use my power poles a lot of times as a rudder. They really help with that spot lock to keep your boat in place. They just kind of really, when slow current, that drag will drag on those power poles, and that spot lock will help hold your boat straight. But this fish fools around here, and before I know it, he's over there in the power pole. So here I go with the Chinese fire drill. You know, you're out here by yourself trying to do this. Run the video cameras and everything else it takes, and just hang on, bear with me here, and you'll see what happens next. Hey, needless to say, that made my catfish trip right there. Man, what a nice wintertime blue catfish. That was a lot of fun. I cut that big guy loose, and I was getting ready to rig up. That fish was actually in that tree, and he broke the sinker off of my three-way rig, and whoop, wait a minute, I had another hit right there. And anyway, I was into those short striking fish as they slowed that water down. But that's a look at the three-way rig right there. I'm using 50-pound monofilament, a 4-ounce bank sinker, and a 10-aught double action hook, brand new hook. So I tie that three-way swivel with a surgeon's loop, and that's what that big old catfish hit on today. Hey, you know me. After catching that big catfish, I had to go try another spot, but all I ended up with was those short strikers, and I wanted to go crappie fishing since they shut the water off. So I fired up the V-Mag and the 200 Suzuki, run that baby about 6,000 RPMs up the river, and it did not take me long to get up to where I wanted to crappie fish. I hope you guys like this video format, because when I'm out here hunting and fishing by myself, it's a lot easier for me to do it this way. Hey, you never know what you're going to see next on Outdoors with Ole Pops, so subscribe. We'll catch you later.